Greetings and felicitations. I'm from Geek Public Broadcasting. This is Playtest. I'm your host, Alan Michael Carter. And on today's episode, we have a game from that I have found on Twitter, actually. This game is created by a Thomas Keene over on Twitter. You can find them at kboldkeeps on Twitter there. And this is their game. It's a yet unnamed game. So actually, if you could think of a good name for this game, you could hit them up over on Twitter. And have I been saying Twitter? I don't know. You can go over and hit them up on Twitter and suggest a name for the game. But I don't know much about the game, actually. I've seen animations of it because I do I look through their Twitter page or whatnot, and it seems like it's going to be like a Metroidvania type game of some type, like some kind of platforming game like that. But I don't know much on the story or anything, so we're going to be discovering this together. So let us begin. All right, we're going to hit with hitting the W key. Okay. So that makes me go up and down, up and down. Okay, so now we have JK. JK seems to do something here. So let's see. Okay, so that does a little select thing. Alright. Oh, I hit something. Alright, throw them in the break. Don't want a monster smelling it. Might come looking for a meal.
But boss, the sword sounds like silver. It could be worth a fortune. Do it, greedy slime bag. Sword is too easy to identify. Can't sell it. Already got her purse.
And the sword seems to have been thrown down the shaft along with this person. Okay, so now we're swimming. Okay. So it starts to fill up in water, and it shows us AD. Okay, so it's saying AD to go left and right. Okay, that's an interesting way to show it. It's like right there on the back screen. Yep, and then you hit here, so you know you gotta hit K. You know that whatever this is, you hit S. I don't know what S does on this one. So I'm hitting S. I'm not sure what S does. I'm gonna jump back over here. Okay, now I've learned I can jump. Oh, and I get a ledge grab. Okay. I was able to get some treasure. I hit up. Okay, a sturdy unlit torch. Press J to swing it. Okay, so it's a little Zelda-like. Okay, so we've got like we've essentially got two hands, and we can equip an item into each hand. So that seems to be kind of what we're going for here. Okay, it's like a little basic swing animation. Alright, and then this is J. Okay, now we're breaking the pots. Okay, no, you know what? I like that. I like the way that tutorial's done. Okay, I wonder. Okay, only K works for that. I don't really quite get that yet. Maybe it's because it's the shield and you're using the shield to jump. Let's break up this area here. Right. And if you're not familiar here with Playtest, Playtest is a series where we're playtesting games that are still in development. So these games are often nowhere near completion. Do not take anything in these games as being anything of a final product unless you read so on the creator's page. These are always works in development. These are just showing off some of the design process for those that are interested in how their favorite games start. Because all games start at this phase. All games, no game came out box like an amazing game. Everything had to go through testing and prototyping to find the fun of everything. So that's the process that we're interested in playtest. And that's the way that we will be looking at these games. If you're not familiar with how we do this series. So you can see, okay, so we're gonna have some animations. It looks like when you bump the character's head. So it's interesting there. So we got some stars right now to indicate that you're bumping your head. So that's just interesting to know that your character will react to things in the vertical if they collide as well in that way. They might make something of that mechanic at some point. Alright. You know, I probably... Oh, there we go. Now I've got some fire. Okay, now it makes me want to come back and light these torches and burn this stuff to see if something happens. And something did happen. Alright, so my curiosity was rewarded. Okay, so it seems like we're playing around with kind of a 2D platformer, but it seems to be using some of the inspirations from things like Breath of the Wild. As you can see, it seems to have almost kind of like a, I don't know what you call that, reactionary system, a chemistry system of some type. It's kind of what that is. It's kind of a type of chemistry combining different things, so I could see that. Okay, so you can get... But essentially it means that you can take different variables and combine them in different ways. So, for example, we have a torch. A torch can hold fire. Now we can light things on fire. That seems like it would make sense that they can be lit on fire. So a lot of the mechanics in the game will most likely come out of your knowledge of the game and your items and how they interact with the environment, which could be a very interesting approach for a Metroidvania style game like this, which it appears to be, is what I would say. We are going to be moving forward, though, because there may be some puzzle there. I may not be figuring it out. And we'll use a little ledge grab. And there's... Okay, oh, so we have a... Save, a continue, and a read the plaque. I don't know how to read the plaque. I'm hitting a few keys. Okay, so the save seems to work. I think it does anyway. I'm hitting the key and it's doing stuff. The read the plaque, I'm not having any luck with. But we will go ahead and we will jump over here. And uh-oh, did my thingy go out? Oh, my fire went out. Oh, but I have more fire. Press escape to check your map and inventory, alright? Oh, okay, wow, so there's a full map system and everything already going on here. Say, so we got back, we got options, we got accessibility, oh man. We've got, oh, I don't know how to make that number go back down, oh my. Oh, there we go, okay. I got it. Auto block, ignore enemy shields, damage to player, damage to enemies. Okay, so we've got some accessibility features in here, folks. This is... Actually, I'm going to stop here real quick so we can talk about that something. Like I said, this series is also going to be some game design philosophy. So, there's these, there's kind of this movement going forward in some games going about accessibility to different player types. You're seeing that this is starting to become more of a thing in kind of the game design hemisphere that we're thinking about, as gaming is growing into a bigger medium that has more than just us enthusiasts, where, you know, everyone kind of playing and interacting with games in their own way. A lot of players are now thinking about, you know, how to kind of, you know, make it easy for these newcomers to play the traditional types of games that someone like possibly you viewers or myself might like. And some of these features can really be helpful, like if you don't have the reaction speed in time, whether it's you know, some kind of, you know, whether you have something going on, some kind of mental illness, or you've got some kind of physical thing going on, then whatever is it, or maybe you're just not skilled, maybe you haven't been playing games for 30 years, that having features like this are nice to have, because they allow you to control the gaming experience. And if you don't have to do them by any means. No game has to do them. I'm not going to say everyone has to, but it's nice when you see that people think about that from time to time, especially this early in development. Like, from what I can tell anyway, I don't know how long this game has been in development, but I don't feel like, at least from what I've known of the follower, that this is like about to like hit Kickstarter or anything yet. Like things are still being worked out, and like, you know, bosses are being designed and things like that. So to already have these amount of features in there, I think is just really interesting. We'll see we have 2 pages. Say infinite double jump. And actually, I didn't actually test them out, so they may not quite. Oh, there's even a debug, a nice debug feature. Upgrades and stackables. Give item upgrade, torchlight red. Okay, so they've even this developer also. This is another neat little thing here. They've gone ahead and built in some debug things into their game. Sometimes it can be useful to have a few quick things that you can do in your game so that you don't have to jump back out of whatever inspector you're in. Like, this game's developed in Unity. I develop in Unity. So, you know, you can develop in like a smaller window or something like that. But sometimes if you want to get fully immersed in the game and just have something in the game UI that you can play, you know, when, you know, play on Max is on, then having stuff in the game where you can quickly hit, like, okay, I can go into the options and, like, if something goes wrong, I can turn it back right again. Or, oh, if I'm just trying to get through this, I can just give the player health. Like, you'll notice that, there's some videos from Way Forward that actually show a little bit of, oh, wait, not, I am so sorry, not Way Forward, Yacht Club Games that show them doing Shovel Knight in their inspector, and you can see that they have like hotkeys for making him invincible, and like they can teleport him around, and you'll even see if you watch C3 recently, Platonic with a ukulele, they had cleverly built in some safety nets just in case something went wrong during the live demo, which it did, so you could see they could kind of clip ukulele like through something just in case something went wrong. That can really help out if you're trying to test out a certain bug or something like that, and you're like, okay, there's something wrong with the doors, but I'm really not trying to mess with that right now. I can just like write it down real quick in my notes, and you know, I can just kind of glitch through the door and get on forward with the game, or, you know, give my character more health or anything that you need. So that's oftentimes how I believe often that we'd find like debug codes and like cheat codes in old games. It's like, you know, things that, you know, developers just leave in, you know, select screens and, you know, go to any level and infinity health, and because those things are helpful dev tools and they're fun to play with, so it can also be fun to leave them in sometimes. But we're going to go ahead and move forward. And so that was neat to go mess around with some of these features. We're going to go ahead and go back. We're going to explore just a little bit more. I'm not exactly sure how long we're going to go. No, let's see here. An old memorial. Its inscription is in several languages. Break. Maybe the dead rest easy, till the pure light moon and the song of the faithful beckon them to their final reward. Press escape to check on your map and inventory. Oh yeah, that's right, I did already read that one. Okay, interesting, but we can't move forward anymore here. An old memorial. Its inscription is in several languages. May the dead rest easy till the pure moonlight and the song of the faithful beckon them to their final reward. Okay. I just wanted to see that again real quick to try to get into memory. I'm not sure if it's going to become like something we're going to have to deal with later on or not. Like if we're going to have to try to decipher it. Okay, now it seems like we've reached our first platforming challenge. And these series might take a time sometime because I'm going to try to stop and explain these. And this is an excellent example because as we can see here on this screen, once again, we have 2 enemies here. And we've seen this in a few other games. And you know that we saw them before that we were ever in danger from running into them. This is a game design tactic that we often use when we want to kind of signal to somebody that something's about to come. It's going to feel unfair to the player if they run into a room and there was just randomly no chance that they could have ever like avoided an enemy attack. Like, that could be more realistic, but that's not really an engaging, fun experience to play. So oftentimes the first time you see an enemy, you'll be given a little bit of leeway in a game to kind of observe them before you have to deal with them right away. So we have time to sit here and kind of look at the timing and figure out what this character does before we plan and move forward. And obviously, as we can see here, this enemy is going to shoot these things out at kind of this rate and at that exact height. So now we can take something like, for say example, let's see what will happen if we jump. And now we time when we get up and... Oh, no. We just learned something new there. Our shield defaults to up. I was thinking about crouching. So now I've just noticed a mechanic that I hadn't paid attention to before. The shield, whether it's up or down. So, but I fell back to a place where it should be fairly easy for me to loop back around. So you see that they didn't make it too punishing. They didn't make me go back too far for making that mistake. Which is another good design tactic. It's like, okay, give me a chance to recover quickly from a mistake. And now if I just move forward, then I should be in the clear. So we've just learned a little bit about combat as well and how this is going to work. So if I want to approach this enemy, I'm going to have to... and then approach. So I'm learning, I feel like, that the game, I believe the game is teaching me that I'm going to need to be careful as I move forward with things. Because they're going to give me ways to tackle things, but I'm going to have to pay attention. Okay. Oh. Okay, I learned that Let's Grab will save me. Okay, see, they made another good design tactic. This little reward was unnecessary. But I got 5 Argon, which I'm going to assume is some type of valuable reward. Because I went ahead and I went the extra mile, and I kind of backtracked a little bit there. And you notice how they had also shown me that chest the entire time I was in this room. I got a chance to stare at that chest and kind of figure out how was I going to get to it. And as it looped back around, and I also quickly realized, as you saw, why they allow things like being shot from off-screen to work. In some games, it's traditional, say, if an enemy is off-screen, that you simply can't be affected by the player. You just put in a little script that says, okay, if they're not in the main viewport, they're not even active. They can't do anything. In this game, game keeps it on, but it's for a reason. It seems to be that the design of the game is going to be that. Essentially, you're going to be able to have some type of pattern recognition is a lot of this game. It's like, okay, you know what these guys do now. Now, even when you see that from off-screen, you have that warning. You know how to interact with it, even if it's coming from way off-screen. And I was able to turn around. They also made it a little bit more difficult. Now I wasn't moving forward. They made that difficult because my reward was to the right, but I was being attacked from the left. So now I could no longer just move the same direction I wanted to and block, like in earlier situations. No, I actually had to stop and turn around, so I had to get my timing a little bit more exact. And it'll be a little bit easier moving forward. And I've been rewarded for it, but I wouldn't have had to try that, but it was there for me to test my skills. Alright, let's not mess this up. Block, block. We have another little thing that we're going to have to deal with now. As you can see, it's about to teach us that this torchlight that's giving us this nice little light here goes out in water. I noticed it earlier when I fell in, but didn't mention it, because I was wondering if there was going to be a little bit more of an... Oh, I'm sitting there and talking, and then I died. But here we go. Well, I don't know exactly how long I've been going, so I think I'm actually just going to end this episode here for now. And, I'm going to move this, and I'm just going to do a second one real quick. I don't think that there's going to be too much more, I don't know. But I'm going to go through, and, yeah, I'll just jump back to where we were, and we will continue on. So, thank you for joining me. I hope you've liked this content. I got through this one a little bit slower than usual, but that's because I spent a lot of time, explaining some of the things. This one has been a real learner experience, which is kind of how I want this channel to be. So, I hope you want to join us on that moving forward. I'm not saying I'm the expert. I'm learning like everyone else here. We're just kind of making this a discussion so that hopefully we can all teach each other a little bit of something. Just join in the conversation and say our little piece of mind, because you never know what that might lead to. But until next time, everyone, I am encouraging you all to engage brightly. Thanks. Bye.